Hello, fans, ladies and gentlemen, single and tag team competitors. This is our recap show of Smackdown, aka Smackdown Lowdown. I am your host, Fritos. Since this is giving me my own little dig, I figure I should go up a bang and got my costume on. I am Fritos, the Hitman Hart, and all I gotta say is, fuck you, Goldberg. And of course, we have our lovely guest here, Coachman. I'm trying to figure out here. There we go.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Fritos. And it's interesting. We've already used 30 seconds in and used our F-bomb. So I think that's a new record. I thought we said it on, but it looks like we broke that record.
And we have to give a special shout out to the man, the legend, Virgil, behind backstage producing, and did some amazing work with that new intro and the whole new background. He did wonderful work.
Yeah,
Make sure you hit that
seriously.
like button. Comment, say how good he did, because I am. If not, you could just cuss me out on there. It'd be fun. But here, folks, we're here to talk about tonight's episode, a pre-taped episode due to a PLE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia tomorrow. So let's start this off. You ready, Coach?
Let's do it.
I'm ready. Woo, woo, woo. I'm so hyped up. So we start.
We got any dogs listening in tonight?
That's for your show, all right? For Monday night.
Oh, my bad.
Raw dogging Mondays.
No, my bad. I just get so ahead of myself. Happens to me all the time.
Shit. Sorry, I have my Apple Watch off and it heard raw dog and it came up some videos. Yeah, that's not You know what happens on these shows, folks, when I'm hosting. Wild times. Virgil right now is probably regretting having me as the host of this show.
He is. I can only imagine what Virgil's doing right now. He's probably telling his wife, make sure my son does not come down here and listening to these two idiots.
I'm sorry. But we're starting the show off, folks. Just like the show started up, Nia Jax coming down the ring, cutting a promo on Liv. Then, of course, that annoying and dirty Raquel and Liv and Dirty Dom came out, bickering and battering each other about Crown Jewel. Then, out of nowhere, tippy time, baby! And telling them, Liv, if I cash in on you, does Dom come with me? And telling Nia, hey, I could be cashing on you, which leads on to something later on. But what was your thought on that, Coach, with that whole promo starting off?
I thought it was a pretty solid opening for it. I thought it was a good idea to bring both Liv and Nia into the ring together, have them kind of have their face off. And Tiffany just is what makes this match so intriguing for me, because it's almost like they are almost guaranteeing she's going to cash tomorrow at Crown Jewel. And so I'm curious to see how that's going to happen, what they're going to do, and if she does the match or if she's going to cash in after the match. And who knows, maybe they throw a curveball. She cashes in before the match and something crazy like that. That's something that's never been done before. And I think it would be an interesting thing to have that happen. But just the thing with Liv, Raquel, and Dom, I'm just not into her as I was at the beginning. It's kind of going stale. And with Rhea now, for who knows how long, I don't know if that means they're going to keep the title on Liv or are we going to pivot to something else. It's just strong as it was when she was actually on the Revenge Tour. We've talked about this before. It's always when somebody's doing, you're always invested. And now that they have their moment, it's like, okay, now what?
It is, because after their promo, we led to a quick little match between Liv and Tiffy. Thought it was a fairly decent match, but of course there was going to be some interference with Nia. We had the briefcase in there, a little distraction, and bam, we have Liv rolling up on Tiffy for the win. Then afterwards, just going on a rampage, Nia going on a rampage with the briefcase, just everywhere. And just a little bit before, going backstage, we see Tiffy with a huge, giant ass knot in her head, which, God damn, that was an apple in her head. Woo! Did you see that, Coach?
Yeah, that was something. Concussion protocol's got to happen.
Full CTE, baby. I'm all for it. But, yeah, I thought the promo was great, and it's really mysterious with who is Tiffy cashing in. The whole Rhea situation is going to be interesting, how they're going to do it. The outside the women is lacking. We've all said it. There's no strong competitors right now, and it is stale. But did you notice Dom, when after Tiffy said that, he kind of gave Tiffy a little look like, but when Liv turned around, he's like, no, never.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
I feel like they are teasing a babyface turn for Dom, and that was because Tiffany's kind of that in-betweener. She's just so over that she's almost a babyface at this point. And if you heard the reaction that people were actually like involved with that. They were like, oh hey, yeah, that'd be nice to see Dom and everything. So I really feel like they're teasing it, then they're kind of just treading the water right now to see if the crowd's going to buy into it. And so far,
because I want to mention this Monday, since we didn't have enough time, I feel like if they're going to do the turn for Dom, it's going to have to be almost like the Bloodline story right now. He's going to have to make up with Ray, his fake dad, or deadbeat dad, or however he is putting it to terms with Rey Mysterio, and just repair that relationship. That'd be the only true way to turn him completely babyface, which I don't see that happening right now, because they're testing it right now with the storyline, with the Bloodline, with Jay and Roman, which we'll talk about a little bit later, folks. But getting back into the show leads to our second match of the night, a tag team match with the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly. Let's see here on my little notes. Pretty Deadly attacked Street Profits behind to get the match going. Prince and Walker kept Ford isolated for most of the match with quick tags and double teams. Dawkins eventually got a hot tag, turned things around. Body slam Prince ringside while Ford and Dawkins finish off Wilson with their finisher for the win. That was, effective, great match. But more the highlight is the who is the individual they promoted last week? Lin-Manuel Miranda, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. They're trying to push him hard to be their next composer, music guy, whatever you want to call it. So I think they're trying to do everything, because that was mainly what I kind of focused on the match. It's Pretty Deadly handing him some merch, their CD. Of course, he's like, nah, I ain't having it. What was your thoughts on this, Coach?
I think with this one, with what they're doing with Lin-Manuel Miranda, is they're trying to get him to be the new producer, because they are not renewing the contract. Thank God. And as for the match, I thought it was just a nice, solid tag match, and it made me, man, and these two teams are really solid, and I think they deserve more love. The Street Profits get the love that they deserve for the most. I think what people are focusing on more is Montez Ford being a singles champion, which rightfully so. But Pretty Deadly, I remember when they first was not sold on them, I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. But ever since they came back after their comedic roles have been really good. And I know that's going to pay off for them down the line. And I think they just, even if it's just short little segments backstage, as long as they are staying in the picture, I think that's going to help them in the long run. But yeah, they're comedic good right now. And they're pretty solid in the ring, too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say I want the Street Profits to break up, but I'm ready for a Montez Ford single run. I don't know if that just means Dawkins takes a little bit of the backseat, because if you break them up, Dawkins is going to be, I hate to say it, might be the odd man out and might get released from the company.
Mm-hmm.
He's great in the ring, but I feel like his promo work needs a little bit more oomph to it. But yeah, Pretty Deadly. Everything they do comedic wise, I thought it was good. Like when they're coming back from injury, those promo workout videos and Rocky ass return videos were good. Their work when they did with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton for Queen Nia, I thought that was fantastic. I enjoy them more in this comedic role. I know it's going to eventually pay off. Maybe, I don't know, 2-3 years, maybe a tag team run going on. But for right now, keep them doing this comedic stuff. Just brighten the show, lighten it up. But moving on next, let's see here. We saw a was that it? Nope. All right. Ooh, this one's going to be a bit of a sore subject. We had another female tag team match here. Naomi and Bayley versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, which, if you haven't been on social media, Akko Taco, ladies and gentlemen. Akko Taco. Indy Hartwell was released from the company with two others, Tegan Knox and Baron Corbin. We from We Book It wish them nothing but the best in the future endeavors and continue on doing great work in wrestling. But yeah, it seemed like she wasn't aware of her release till someone posted on X. Awkward. They need to do a better job of this.
Yeah, I think what sucks is that one thing we love about the people who have the inside scoop and report it, it's like, I want to know all this stuff, but let's make sure when it's a subject like this, let's make sure everyone knows before we post it. Because that's...
Before we talk the match, I feel like the head-ups know who is going to be on the chopping block for the release.
Yeah.
And when you have a pre-taping like this, they could have done something storyline-wise and given her heads up like, hey, we're not renewing your contract, or we're planning on releasing you, but we can at least write you off, like how they did with Ricochet. At least that made storyline sense. Braun Breaker helped, raise him up more. He's went on his rampage, become IC champion. They could have done something along these lines to help Candice's role. After the loss, could be like, I'm tired of losing, and just snap on her, something along those lines. Because for a little bit, they had a little bit, tension between each other because they kept losing. So that could have played in something along the lines to help write in and make more sense. Besides next week, she's not here,
Yeah.
But anyways, going into the match. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just going to say, it sucks because I think Indy Hartwell was utilized people on the women's roster. She had a lot of potential. I think when they turned her heel, it kind of went downhill from Tegan Knox just couldn't stay healthy. And then Baron Corbin, it's just a shame. He had finally found his footing and just didn't work out.
I just feel like they didn't give him enough storyline chance.
Yeah, I agree.
think they should have kept him in NXT a little bit longer. It would have been great for all the younger folks coming up, someone who's been a veteran. I mean, it sucks paying him veteran money, big time money, and just having him on NXT. But at the same time, it's helping all the younger guys get up there and learn, get great experience when they eventually get up there. Mm-hmm. But going into the match, Hartwell took control early against Bayley and softened her up for LeRae. Bayley was kept away from Naomi during the break and a couple of the minutes when we returned. Naomi turned things around and won for her team. But yeah, just the match itself, before hearing about the whole release, I kind of wanted to get invested into it, but at the same time, I wasn't. So say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Piss break.
Piss break.
Even though I want to know, but at the same time, I wish they did something to write Indy off if they were going to plan to do this. But any thoughts on the match, Coach? Or is it your piss break as well?
No, not really. I think it was really awkward just knowing what had happened and seeing Indy Hartwell still on the screen of like, dang, this was televised match for WWE until who knows. And it's just like, it sucks that it had to be a tape. Because I bet if people knew beforehand and it was a live show, they might have done something a little bit special for her. But, it is what it is, unfortunately.
It's business, and business sucks sometimes.
Yeah,
but going into the next part, just like business, we keep moving. And the show keeps on moving, ladies and gentlemen. Next part, we have finally the reunion of the OG Bloodline. Eat and throw it up there, Coach. There we go. We can see it. We have Jimmy and Roman coming out to the ring. And Jimmy trying to talk some sense into the OTC, Roman Reigns, saying, hey, come on, we need him here. But you can kind of see Roman still got that heel tactic characteristic. Something about him, he's still holding that in, where just not saying anything, holding his hand out, wanting the mic from Jimmy just to say something. Not even saying, please give it nothing. Nothing along those lines. Being a polite gentleman, just being the head honcho he normally was, that heel hand it. Then Jay came out, said he's doing this to get back at Solo. Just strictly Solo. For costing him for the IC, but his problems with Reigns are far from being fixed. Which it's expected, like I mentioned. This family was broken. There's a lot of men that need to be fixed. It's going to take some time for them to get back together. Jay said he wanted the three of them to be equals, and if Roman speaks down to him, he's out. Then we finally get it. We get a yeet from Roman Reigns. Everyone goes crazy. Jimmy's the first one to throw one up. Jay hesitantly threw one up. Then Roman Reigns threw it up. So we've got them all connecting back together. A little bit on understanding, but there's definitely some men's in the relationship that's broken that needs to be fixed. Coach, your thoughts on the segment?
I think best segment of the night. And it was something everyone was looking forward to. What I liked about it was, Jimmy's plea, we need him, and Roman's like saying, no, we don't. Like his body language is saying no. But then when entrance and you see everybody yeeting along with him, they kept showing Roman's face, and he's almost like by the crowd being on Jay's side, and instead of being with him for once. And it was just, I think, character work of him realizing, okay, he is on my level now. We are equal, so I need to kind of be humble about this. The character shift that we've been seeing with Roman is he's still doing his heelish tactics, but he's slowly humbling himself and remembering where he came from.
Yeah, to me, I kind of wish this was the main event. Even though we had a decent match, but this, to me, just for what the story is, needs to be the main event, because this is the number one story everyone's talking about in wrestling right now. Everything from it was perfect. Jay setting down the ground rules with it. Roman still having that heel characteristic traits going on, but I know for sure they're trying to make him that super baby face. That was the one thing Vince tried to do and couldn't do. But the way the storyline's working out, I could see him finally being that super mega big face, maybe potentially bigger than John Cena.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. He's got muted. So that's happening. Let's, I'll continue things on for a little bit. Okay, he's back. Oh, and he's muted again.
Bullshit.
Perfect timing.
Well, go ahead, Coach.
You okay? Do you want to talk about it? Okay.
I'm good. He put me in timeout. Virgil's, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Virgil's behind the stage producing, and he put me in timeout for talking about his idol, John Cena. That hurt.
All right. Well, since I'll let you recover, I'll move on to the next one for us. We have a fatal four-way match between the four members of each team competing in a tag team title match tomorrow at Crown Jewel. It's Io Sky versus Lash Legend versus Piper Niven and Bianca Belair. And folks, I'm going to level with you on this one. I did not find this interesting at all. And it's a love watching Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And I'm really falling in love with Lash Legend too. But I don't know if it was just because of the week I had or it was a long day today. I actually fell asleep during this match. And when I woke up, the ending had happened. So I was like, okay, at least I saw the ending. So if you want to chastise me for that, I understand, but I just did not find that match interesting. And it makes me worried for what the tag match is going to be tomorrow.
To be fair, this was my poop break. I eat a lot of fiber, guys. I do apologize. Things roll through me. You try eating 50 plus grams of fiber, all right? See what happens to your colon. But I did catch the last bit. Io Sky, stealing the win. But other than that, I've said it before. There's something with the women's tag division that it's something off. It's weak. They've got strong competitors. I love Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Their comedic roles are great. Io Sky and Damage Control, they're fantastic. I mean, Lash Legend, they're going to be coming up eventually. They're the NXT. They're going to be making names for themselves. And Bianca and Jade, they're top dogs. They're great, but something with this is not right. I don't know if it's storyline booking or what exactly, but they need to do something different. Shake up the women's tag team division and do something, I feel like. But we'll carry on to our main event. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. This was your main event for the week leading up to Crown Jewel. And by the way, Triple H did announce that their match, the championship, is going to stay there for a WWE experience, but the winner of the match is going to be collecting a ring. And it's kind of almost like a Super Bowl ring, if you will. And they're going to see who can collect as many. Well, Triple H is booking. Gunther might be the Tom Brady of Crown Jewel. He might have 10, 20 rings. Who knows what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into the match, your thoughts on the Triple H comment today?
I mean, it established this is a solely Saudi Arabia championship, and it's often thought of as kind of I mean, how many times have we tried doing championships in Saudi Arabia? Like, didn't we have the best in the world champ? We did something else there, and it's just not. Everyone always forgets about it. Heck, I was actually watching old Crown Jewels on Peacock on the WWE network. I completely forgot they did a Queen of Selena Vega one. Like that's how forgettable some of these things are. So if you keep something there, but you still bring back like a little remnant, like a ring, I think that just kind of establishes more credit because everyone, when people think of Crown Jewel, they think Saudi Arabia and they think versus Brothers of Destruction and how terrible that match was.
Yeah, dumpster fire of a match.
They don't think of anything else. So they're trying to sway the opinion of Crown Jewel better than what people are usually think of it, because people just think of it as a money grab. And to be honest, yeah. But now they're trying to make it mean something. And if they need to bring Super Bowl rings or championship rings in, that'll do to at least give this some credibility.
Mm-hmm. I'm down for it. I'm kind of curious if that's going to play a role in the Hall of Fame, votings or something along the line, or considerations future down the line. Let's just say 20 years, whatever. Gunther's retired. He's up. Are they going to, mention, let's say, 10 world heavyweight champion, 5-time intercontinental champion, 3-time tag team, and 20-time Crown Jewel champion, and have him wear his rings out there. So I'm kind of curious if it's going to play a role in that, which that would make more sense than just leading into there just for anything along those lines. But we're going to get back to this match, ladies and gentlemen. Match got started a little over 10 minutes left in the show since it included a commercial break. We didn't get a whole actual wrestling. The ring general and American Nightmare began, but Gunther immediately tagged out for Kaiser so he could take down Cody. After a solid back-and-forth tag team, Rhodes pinned Kaiser to score after the Viper took out Gunther with an RKO. After they were celebrating, we get a little surprise attack from Kevin Owens, showed up and taking out Orton with a chair while Gunther choked out Rhodes with a sleeper. Not gonna lie, I thought the match was a little bit boring, and just that ending was predictable. And just kind of how they kind of executed it was a little bit off for me. But what was your thoughts on that, Coach?
Yeah, I think Owens got stuck coming through the crowd, because I think that's where the timing got off. Because on TikTok, I was able to see some of the spoilers for what was happening on Smackdown tonight. So I knew the reunion of the Bloodline and kind of what the gist was, and I had already seen the ending of Smackdown. And if you look from the angle that this fan has the camera, you can see Kevin Owens coming through the crowd, and I legitimately think caught in a section of people, because you can see him like trying to scooch around buddy, and then he finally gets through. And so it's very brief, but in wrestling, just like the split second timing can hinder a spot, and I think that's kind of what made it feel like something was off about it.
I agree. I mean, something that was off, and also just for me, the choking out of Cody just kind of seemed awkward too. I don't know if it was just that timing with Kevin threw Gunther off, but even then, when you choke someone out, I've been choked out before and I've drooled. I was hoping maybe some drooling from Cody's mouth, something to indicate that he's struggling with that. But anyways, that is your Smackdown on November 1st, 2024. And that has been your first Smackdown Lowdown, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, singles and tag team. But we need you to do us a favor. We need you to like, subscribe, and share our lovely channel. Virgil, bring up the screen. if he has it. If not,